Outlook, the iSightCornwall newsletter, Spring-Summer 2023. My name is Daniel and I'm a volunteer at iSightCornwall. I've recorded this audio version of the newsletter, which I hope you will enjoy. We start with an introduction from Chief Executive Carol Theobald. Welcome to the Spring-Summer 2023 edition of Outlook. Firstly, I would like to personally thank Joe Stinton for his service to the charity. Joe is stepping down as a trustee in July after 2 7-year terms on the board, having originally joined us in 2008. Joe is visually impaired and has passionately represented the views of visually impaired people across Cornwall, perhaps most noticeably when, along with other trustees and staff, he attended a major demonstration in London to lobby MPs on changes to the Disability Living Allowance in 2009. More recently, I've been working with the Board of Trustees on our strategy for the future. I am pleased to tell you of our ambitious new vision, Inspiring Life Without Limitations. Our overarching aims for people with sight loss are inclusion, participation and independence, giving people the choice to do exactly what they want to do. We want our charity to thrive and be able to meet the needs and challenges of today, tomorrow and the days after. iSightCornwall has held a unique place in Cornwall for over 167 years. But the past few years have been full of challenges and uncertainty which has affected the charitable sector. The experience has shown that we are a resilient charity and will continue to rise to all the challenges that come our way. However, we have seen a great reduction in fundraising opportunities and donations, and we have therefore called on the charity's savings to support our work. I'm sure that over the years, previous custodians of Cornwall's oldest charity faced hard times when it was tough to balance the books to fund essential services. For me, that time is now. As a small charity, it can be tough to make our voice heard among so many other local worthy causes. We are often seen as too polite when it comes to asking for support. However, now is the time for us to shout louder. So we are launching a public appeal for donations. We will be calling on the public to see the difference, be the difference. Our campaign messages will focus on showing the donors the difference they could make to people with sight loss and the peace of mind that they will get from knowing that their money goes to a great local cause. As always, we value your support. You can help us at this important time by sharing our messages and helping to promote the difference we make. Real stories from real people are the best way for us to get the message across. So if we made a difference to you, no matter how big or small, we'd love to hear from you. In many ways, the charity is stronger now than ever thanks to the outstanding work and support of our employees, volunteers, trustees and of course our members and clients. But we are feeling the impact of the economic downturn. This is an important time for us as a charity. Above all, we exist to make a difference. Carol Theobald, Chief Executive. Campaign success. Following calls by iSightCornwall and other local organisations, Cornwall Council has decided to continue allowing people with disabilities and eligible older people to use their concessionary bus passes at any time of the day. The Council had considered imposing time constraints to when the free travel could be undertaken. Concessions would not have been available before 9:30 a.m. and after 11 p.m. As the proposal was put out to consultation, we asked clients and supporters to share their views about the changes and to share their experiences with using buses in Cornwall. We heard back from several of our clients, all of whom were against the changes due to how they would negatively affect them. One client said, "There is a limited service where I live. I cannot get from my village to my closest town without changing, which takes a long time, so I often get the bus as early as 7:45 a.m. If these proposed changes came in, it would mean I could not attend any appointments in the morning." Another said, "Travelling around in public after I lost my sight was one of the hardest things to adapt to. The bus pass takes a great weight off my mind. I don't have to budget for my travel because it's free. I don't have to worry about trying to count coins or using the right card to pay. I would hate for that to change." Following the consultation, Cornwall Council's Cabinet decided to reject the proposals and to continue allowing people with disabilities and eligible older people to travel throughout the county for free at any time of the day. Thank you to everyone who shared their views on this matter with us. Latest news. More Than Words project. Members of iSightCornwall are invited to take part in an exciting project run by the Sensory Trust and funded by the National Lottery Heritage Fund. The Sensory Trust invited people who would normally face barriers to exploring heritage venues to take part in workshops and give their views on how these venues could be made more accessible. Members of iSightCornwall were invited to take part in a sensory tour at Crescent Kernow Archives and Cornish Studies Service in Redruth and access parts of the archives not normally open to the public. They were given the opportunity to feel different types of textures and learn more about how the old brewery was transformed into the building it is today. One member even found her own grandfather in one of the history books. Their feedback was collated, and as a result, Crescent Kernow launched their first Sensory Experience Day in March, allowing visitors to explore the archives using their senses. Leach Pottery Workshops. In March, members of iSightCornwall had the opportunity to get their hands dirty on the potter's wheel at Leach Pottery in St Ives. Over the course of 2 workshops, members were introduced to the story of Leach Pottery and its founders Bernard Leach and Shoji Hamada before embarking on a guided tour of the premises. They then had a chance to feel some of the creations made by Leach pottery artists, experience the different sensory atmospheres of each part of the pottery, and have an audio-described tour. Next, they made pinch clay pots, using their sense of touch to bring their creation into being, and even had a go at using the potter's wheel in the workshop, again relying on touch and audio instructions. One of the members who attended said, "It's been a fantastic experience. I never tried making anything with clay before, but I've really enjoyed giving it a go. All of the Leach pottery works have such interesting textures and shapes, so it's been really interesting to explore them by touch." iSightCornwall Talks. We're always looking for ways to reach people who might need to use our services, and one of the ways we've been doing this recently is by visiting local groups and organisations around Cornwall to give talks. We were delighted to speak to a number of fantastic groups recently, including the residents of Trelawney House in Falmouth and Liss Lander House in Truro, the Truro Afternoon Women's Institute, the Penzance and Camborne Macula groups, the Joy Birds in St Teth, the Outlook Club in Redruth, and the community hubs in Ponsonooth, Perranporth and Perranwell. The talks give an overview of our history, explaining how the charity grew from helping Cornish miners to the services we offer today. Then the audience members are given a demonstration of some of the aids and technology which can help people with sight loss, followed by a question and answer session. Many of the groups we visit generously give a donation to the charity, so the talks help with our fundraising as well as spreading awareness. If you belong to a group and would like us to come along to speak to your members, please get in touch. Iconic Project Launch. iSightCornwall is continuing to work with researchers to help share opportunities for people with sight loss. Following the ongoing success of the GOLD, Generating Older Active Lives Digitally project, which has seen iSightCornwall teaming up with a research team at Plymouth University, a new project has been launched and the team are looking for volunteers to get involved. The Iconic project, being led by Plymouth University, aims to develop new technologies which will provide remote access to famous heritage sites across Cornwall. The university is looking for people aged between 16 to 30 or over 50 to help come up with ideas and give feedback which will be used to help create new technology. Involvement is estimated to be a 2-hour session once every 2 months for between 6 to 18 months. Participants do not need any previous knowledge of any technology to take part, and they will be paid for time spent during workshops as well as travel costs. For more information and to register your interest, please call the Iconic project at 01752 586 550, email iconic@plymouth.ac.uk or go to www.plymouth.ac.uk/research. Fundraising news. Festive fundraising. We started the year with some generous donations that were raised over the festive period. The Cornwall Symphony Chorus held a Christmas concert in Truro Methodist Church, which featured international tenor John Treleaven as a special guest, with Bruce Taylor comparing the evening. The chorus put on a fantastic show with musical direction from Alistair Taylor and, accompanied by Clive Ellison and Tanya Lord, they delighted the audience with a range of festive favourites. But the performances were not the only successful part of the night, with a very well supported raffle and retiring collection raising £900 for iSight Cornwall. Carol Theobald attended the event with 3 iSight Cornwall volunteers, Chris, Lucy and Jenny, and they were delighted by the support during both the raffle and the retiring collection. 2 of iSight Cornwall's affiliated clubs also had reason to celebrate after being chosen to benefit from a local dramatic society's fundraising efforts. The Lewanick Amateur Dramatic Society, LADS, made a triumphant return to the stage following a 2-year absence with their pantomime The Good, the Bad and the Ugly Sisters. LADS have been supporting Bugle Blues Bowling Club and Bugs Shooting Club alongside other local charities since 1999. This year they raised a fantastic £2,500 to be divided between their chosen causes. The iSight Cornwall stamp appeal had a hugely successful festive period, and thanks to all of the generous collectors we raised an incredible £648 over Christmas. We received stamp donations in the post and at the site centre from community groups, businesses and generous individuals, and each stamp donated has helped to raise vital funds for the charity. Terrific fundraising. In what can only be described as a terrific fundraising effort, St Enodoc Golf Club have raised almost £14,000 for iSight Cornwall. Club captain Neil Bradley chose to support iSight Cornwall as his charity for the year, after being diagnosed with a retinal detachment in 2018. Thanks to immediate emergency surgery, Neil did not need the services of iSight Cornwall, but the experience gave him an insight into what it would be like to lose his sight, which is why he chose to support us. Through various events such as the Captain's Charity Day and generous donations from the membership, the club raised one of the largest donations from a single organisation that we have ever received. During the many hours I spent sitting in the eye unit at Trillisk Hospital, I became acutely aware of the good work you and your volunteers do and the vast amount of eyesight problems within our county across all age groups. So when I became captain of the golf club, it was an easy decision for me to choose to support iSight Cornwall with our charity fundraising events. Towan Blister Lions. Members of the Towan Blister Lions Club, including President Jill Bunt, recently met with Chief Executive Carol Theobald to present iSight Cornwall with a cheque for £500. The Lions Club International have been supporters and advocates of blind and visually impaired causes for many years. Love Coffee. Newquay-based coffee company, Love Coffee, is helping to raise money for iSight Cornwall by creating a unique new blend of coffee beans and donating £1 to the charity for every bag that is sold. The blend, named 1856 after the charity's founding year, is a smoky and warming blend and was chosen by clients and staff at iSight Cornwall following a taste testing session. Founder of Love Coffee, Matt, chose to raise money for iSight Cornwall as his daughter has sight loss and he wanted to give something back to a charity that is supporting local people. You can buy packs of 1856 by visiting www.lovekoffi.com. Raisin Opticians. Raisin Opticians in Helston has celebrated its 10th anniversary by raising a fantastic £745 for iSight Cornwall. The Raisins team spent the whole month of March celebrating the special occasion and raised money by selling raffle tickets for a hamper and donating £5 for every dispense over £75. Raisin Opticians is an independent family-run practice set up in 2013 by Brad and Libby Raisin. The couple chose to support iSight Cornwall as they both have close links to the charity. Libby said, "When we were deciding on which charity to support, we didn't have to think very hard. Brad and I have had connections with iSight Cornwall for many years. We both used to work as optometrists in the clinic, and I started volunteering for the charity when I was in sixth form in 1998. Libby first came to iSight Cornwall when she was completing a Gold Duke of Edinburgh award. She volunteered every Wednesday afternoon, pricing equipment and helping the Cornish talking newspapers as their recording studio used to be in the site centre. Libby, joined by Brad, later returned to iSight Cornwall as a qualified optometrist. Between them they helped to run the low vision service, hosting a Truro clinic in the site centre every Monday. It's this close history between Raisins and iSight Cornwall which meant the couple decided to celebrate their landmark anniversary by fundraising for the charity. Every little helps. We're delighted to have been chosen by Tesco Community Grants to be involved in their Blue Token scheme in their Newquay, Padstow, Callington, Wadebridge and St Ives stores. If you shop in any of these stores, remember to ask for your blue token at the checkout and use it to vote for iSightCornwall at the community station. As they say, every little helps. Thanks to our supporters: Clare Milne Trust, Cornwall Symphony Chorus, Douglas After Foundation, Lowannick Amateur Dramatic Society, Raisin Opticians, Redruth Outlook Club, St Austell Trefoil Guild, St Enadot Golf Club, Truro Community Grants, the Joybirds St Teth, Towan Blistra Lions Club, Trelawney House Falmouth, Truro Afternoon WI. Low vision. What to expect at a low vision appointment? When people are referred to low vision by their optician or eye consultant, they often don't know what to expect from their appointment, so we've put together a useful overview. Before you get to your appointment, you will receive a phone call asking you which low vision clinic you would prefer to attend, usually the one closest to you. We have clinics in Falmouth, Helston, Penzance, Redruth, St Austell, Truro and Wadebridge. Your appointment will last approximately 1 hour, and during that time you will be assessed on your reading vision, distance vision and how glare and light affects your vision. At the end of your appointment you will be given a number of different low vision aids to keep on a free long-term loan. The assessment of reading vision helps us to prescribe the appropriate magnifiers for you. There are 3 types of magnifiers available: handheld, stand magnifiers and pocket magnifiers. We look at what type would work best for you. Sometimes it could be all 3, as well as hands-free magnifiers where applicable. To assess your distance vision, we use an eye chart in the clinic and set it at the distance of your TV to find out if Max TV spectacles or Max TV clips, which fit over your prescription glasses, would offer you more clarity or detail when watching television at home. We can also investigate other aids to enhance distance vision, such as a monocular or binoculars. Glare and light can profoundly affect your vision, so we offer a range of filters that can reduce glare and enhance your vision. During your assessment, you can try out a range of different colour filters to find out which ones work best for your eye condition. Finally, we can talk to you about any other services we provide to help with your sight loss. Low vision aids. Here is an overview of some of the low vision aids you might take away from your appointment. Handheld magnifiers. These range from 3 times to 15 times magnification. As the name suggests, you hold this type of magnifier in your hand and move it backwards and forwards to find the best focal distance. They are useful for reading letters, text on food packets and settings on appliances such as ovens and microwaves. These magnifiers can also be issued with a stand to keep them still, meaning that you can use them to write notes or cut your nails, etc. Stand magnifiers. These magnifiers, which range from 3 times to 15 times magnification, rest directly on the page, keeping them at the optimum focal distance, which is ideal if you struggle to find the correct distance or keep the magnifier parallel to the page. Also, because they are enclosed, the light can appear brighter, which creates more contrast. Pocket magnifiers. These are smaller magnifiers that are roughly the size of a credit card. They are much more lightweight and portable, which makes them very handy for shopping or reading restaurant menus. They are currently only available in selected strengths ranging between 2.5 times and 6 times magnification. Max TV glasses. Max TV glasses provide 2.1 times magnification and can be adjusted so that each eye lens can be focused separately. They focus on objects at distances of 3 meters and beyond, making them ideal for watching TV, sporting events, theatre performances, etc. Cocoons. Cocoons are polarized glasses that reduce glare, thereby improving visual acuity and enhancing depth perception. They can be worn over prescription glasses, and they come in a range of different coloured lenses so that you can choose the best option for your eye condition. Talking technology, text-to-speech apps, optical character recognition (OCR) apps, or as they are more commonly known, text-to-speech apps, are free apps which can be downloaded to your smartphone or tablet device in order to convert printed text into speech. They can be used in many situations such as reading your post, scanning food packaging for preparation instructions, ingredient lists or use-by dates, as well as reading menus when you go out for a meal. Key features. Text-to-speech apps will read text whatever the size, colour or orientation, so even if you're holding a document upside down, or are trying to read text at an angle, the app will recognize it. They are available for both Apple and Android devices, and both apps allow you to choose the speed of the speech being played back, as well as either the voice or the pitch being used. Some limitations. Text-to-speech apps don't work well with handwriting. They will attempt to read handwritten documents, but unless the handwriting is very neat, the apps won't be able to decipher them, and even with neat handwriting, the accuracy is much lower than with printed text. They also struggle with columns. Often they won't recognize a column break, so they'll read across the page from left to right, taking in one line from each column at a time. If you are using text-to-speech apps to read a newspaper, for example, you will need to block out columns with a piece of blank paper until you are ready to read them. Lookout, Android. Lookout is currently one of the better text-to-speech apps available for Android devices, and it can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. The icon is a pair of white binoculars on a purple background. Lookout has 6 different functions that are represented by a series of icons across a black bar at the bottom of the screen. These functions allow you to use your device's camera to scan any text placed in front of you. There are even audio cues to help you line up documents, telling you to move the device left or right, or closer until the document can be scanned, then hold still while it captures the text. As well as text, the app will scan barcodes and food labels to tell you what packaging is in front of you, which is very helpful when you are shopping or cooking. You can also use the app to scan the area around you, and it will describe the people, text and objects. The app has a currency function but doesn't currently recognise British banknotes. Seeing AI, Apple. Seeing AI is the text-to-speech app available for Apple devices, which can be downloaded from the App Store. The icon is a white interlocking eye shape on a light blue background. Seeing AI has 9 different functions represented by white square icons at the bottom of the screen. The function you are using turns blue when in use. It has all the same features as Lookout, although some of them are more intuitive, particularly the scene identifying function, and it can identify British currency. In addition, this app can recognise friends' faces, describe the people around you including their emotions, and it even gives a pretty accurate estimate of the person's age. It has a colour detecting feature which is particularly helpful for choosing clothes, and it has a light detect for gauging how light or dark it is in a particular room. It uses audio tones to gauge the light, so the higher the tone, the lighter it is. Clubs and activities. Affiliated clubs. Bliss Singers. Bliss Singers have swapped evenings in Mount Hawk for afternoons in Short Lanes End. They now meet in Short Lanes End Village Hall from 2 to 4 p.m. every other Tuesday, so that they avoid a late finish, especially in the winter months. It has been a positive change, and they've recently welcomed several new members to the club. Bugle Blues Bowling Club. At the club's recent AGM, Henry Tabb was voted in as club president. Henry has been a volunteer at the club since 2006 and has held different roles over the years, including club secretary until 2021. Margaret Bloxham now has taken over the role of club secretary. Members of the committee have been busy organising games against other local clubs. Recently, a team from Imeris Bowling Club visited Bugle Blues, and despite being a sighted team, they weren't used to playing indoor bowls, so they struggled against the experienced Bugle Blues bowlers. Bug Shooting Club. The club has welcomed several new members recently, and everyone is settling in really well. Some of the more experienced shooters took part in national regional winter leagues, with Vic Powell coming first in his division. And some of the new members have already been entered into the National Summer League, so we look forward to finding out how they get on. In April, the club went on their annual bowling trip at Trethorn Leisure Park, which everyone thoroughly enjoyed and was won by Mark Johnson. Dance Club, PAR. The club held their first meeting of the year in March and had a surprise visit from our chief executive, Carol. The next meeting will take place on Monday the 5th of June from 2 to 4 p.m, and everyone is welcome. Dance Club, Townsend. The Dance Club in Townsend meet on Thursday afternoons from 2 to 4:30 p.m. in the village hall. They do a mixture of ballroom and sequence dancing with plenty of opportunity to rest in between and chat to the other members. The wonderful team of volunteers keep everyone refreshed with tea and biscuits. Guitar Club. The Guitar Club now meets weekly on Friday afternoons from 2 p.m. in Falmouth. New members are always welcome. Launceston Lunch Club. Members of the club were sad to say goodbye to Mary Lancaster, who retired from the club in January after more than 15 years of volunteering. Mary had been responsible for arranging everyone's transport each fortnight and was awarded the Outstanding Contribution Award in recognition of her dedication to the club. Saltash Baps. Club organiser Shirley Evans has been very busy organising days out for the Saltash Baps members, starting off with a trip to Jennycliff in Devon for a lovely cream tea. There's plenty more to look forward to, with fish and chips in lieu coming up, as well as a trip to the Barbican in Plymouth for more fish and chips. This time washed down with some Plymouth gin. The members will be going on a tour of the distillery to see how the gin is made. Shirley has also been organising entertainment for the club meetings in Saltash, including a ukulele band and talks from the Rockpool project and a local beekeeper. Non-affiliated clubs. Able Bowling. In June, Able Bowling will be celebrating their 35th anniversary. The club meets fortnightly in Short Lane's End Village Hall on Monday afternoons from 2 to 4 p.m. Bats, Blind at Sea. Bats is a sailing club for visually impaired people that is based at Myla Yacht Club. They also offer fishing trips and gig rowing. Cabs Shooting. Cabs Shooting meet every Wednesday afternoon at the Rifle Club in Helston. Optimists Club. The Optimists are back and are now meeting in a new venue. They meet on the first Wednesday of every month in the Britannia Inn in Parr. For more information on any of these clubs, please call 01872 261110 or email info@cornwall.org.uk. Events. Sight Loss Support Days. We're happy to announce that our Sight Loss Support Days are returning this year, starting with a visit to St John's Hall in Penzance on Wednesday the 14th of June. These events give you the opportunity to speak to our low vision and assistive technology advisors, as well as trying out some of the latest tech and daily living aids that are available. We are hoping to announce more dates across Cornwall later in the year. We have also been invited to take part in the Cornwall Vision Zone events organised by Optelec Limited. These events will take place across 2 days in July and will give you the opportunity to speak to members of the iSightCornwall team, as well as representatives from the Cornish Talking newspaper, Optelec UK, Age UK, Blind Veterans, Macular Society, RNIB and Dolphin Computer Access. The events are taking place in the Moresque Centre Truro on Wednesday the 12th of July and the Wesley Buildings Redruth on Thursday the 13th of July. Both events are open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with no appointment needed. Just drop in. Anyone living in the Penzance, Truro and Redruth areas will receive an invitation to their local event near at the time. However, if you are interested in these events but don't live nearby, you are still welcome to attend. You can find more information on our website or by giving us a call. AGM. This year's AGM will take place on Friday the 13th of October, so save the date. AGM. This year's AGM will take place on Friday the 13th of October, so save the date. Members will receive their invitation pack in September, which will confirm all the details. iSightCornwall. We are the first centre of resource for all in Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly who are affected by sight loss, whatever their age, circumstance or condition. We care passionately about helping anyone living with a visual impairment and have done ever since our foundation in 1856, when the charity supported Cornish miners. Outlook is also available as audio USB stick, audio CD, large print 22-point plain text, online audio via our website.